Hi, catching up to five. It's Becky with your weekly money minute. And this week, I'm coming to you from Bali, Indonesia. Stephen and I and some friends are here for the Five Freedom Retreat. And this has been a really interesting trip so far. We flew for, I believe our flights altogether were about 25 hours. We had about 30 hours total of traveling. So, of course, we were somewhat exhausted when we got here. But it's been so interesting. I haven't traveled outside of North America, but just a handful of times. And it's been a while since I've done any of those trips. And I knew I was going to another country. It was going to be different. It was going to be, I was so excited about it. And we got here, and I have to tell you, it was a little overwhelming. I had really been looking forward to this trip, and I know it's going to be amazing. But we land in the airport, and the first thing is I'm concerned about, are the documents I filled out ahead of time going to be the right thing? Am I going to get in the right line? Am I going to stand in this line for an hour and then find out I don't have the right papers? So it was a little unsettling when we got here. And then we got in the car. The drive from the airport to our first hotel was about, we knew it, we had been told it would be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on the traffic. It was about 2 hours. And I thought, this is crazy. I mean, I'm from Houston, Texas originally. I understand traffic, but this was nothing like what I expected. By the time we got to our hotel, I felt like I was going to need something to calm me down. The the roads are different. They drive on the left-hand side of the road. Half of the um, people on the road are on scooters instead of cars, which I understand now after seeing the traffic, why most people ride on a scooter. But it is just crazy. There's like cars and scooters and pedestrians everywhere. So we get here, we get settled in, we want to go into town. The hotel we're at now is a little bit out of town. We want to go into town, and so we take a shuttle that drops us off like about a mile and a half from where we actually need to be. And we're walking down the street. And it's crazy. I felt like I was taking my life in my hands. There's like not really a sidewalk. Sometimes there's a place to walk, sometimes there's not. And you've got these cars and scooters zipping around everywhere that are just crazy. And the sidewalks, obviously, there's no OSHA here. So there's like big holes in the sidewalk, and between watching where I was walking so I didn't break an ankle, and then watching the traffic that was literally right next to me so that I didn't get too close to the street and get hit, and the fact that I'm jet lagged and I don't have that many brain cells firing was just crazy. It was an experience I didn't expect at all. So, what does that got to do with your money? Well, I know that I've been giving you some assignments lately. Last week's assignment was to make your list of 10 things that make you happy. And then before that, we were talking about tracking your expenses and your net worth. And the reason I wanted to tie these two things together is, like I said, when I got here, I was so excited for this trip. I knew it was going to be fun. I knew it was going to be exciting. I would see new cultures, new food, new people, new surroundings. The geography and topography and the climate here are also different. But when I first started this trip, it was overwhelming and it was scary and it was uncomfortable. So I want to tell you that when you first make that decision that I'm going to turn my money around, I'm going to do better than I've been doing all these years in the past, and it's going to be great. Well, let me tell you, the end result is going to be great, but the path to get there may be a little rocky. It may be uncomfortable. It may be scary. You're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing. Like I said, when I was in the airport, I had printed off all these papers, but I wasn't sure that it was going to be exactly what I needed. Kept being afraid I was going to get turned back and told I had to go do something different and then come back to my desk. Now, it turned out fine. We had everything we needed. We got some sleep. We, instead of trying to figure out where we were going to go on our own yesterday, we hired a driver. He took us to a temple, to a waterfall, to a rice terrace. It was beautiful. We had a great time yesterday, but we had to get over the hard steps first. So I just wanted to tell you, please don't be discouraged when you first start out with your money and you feel like you don't know what you're doing. You feel like I'm not getting anywhere. This is terrible. I mean, there was a moment the first day we were here where I was like, can I just go back home, please? But I'm so glad I didn't give up because everything that we've done since has been worth it. And I want to tell you, it's going to be worth it. It's not going to be easy, but it is so going to be worth it. You can do it. You can learn. I don't want you to think I'm too old to learn something new. This is also complicated and I don't understand it. And that is not true. You can understand it. And we're all here to help. Everybody in the Catching Up to Fi community, everybody on the Facebook page, we're all here to help each other out because we've all been there. We know it's hard and we know it's confusing and scary and just crazy, and you feel like giving up sometimes. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to keep going because every step along the way, you'll learn something new, you'll get better at what you're doing. And in a month, in 6 months, in a year, you're going to go, wow, I've got this. And look at how much better I'm handling my money than I used to. So that's my encouragement for today. The only assignment I have for you is the things that we've done in the past. So I want to check in with you. Have you been tracking your expenses? Did you calculate your net worth? And did you do your 10 things list? So if you're just starting with these videos and you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the previous videos. I want you to do those three things: calculate your net worth, start tracking your spending, and do your 10 things list. After you did your list, were you surprised? Did you find some things on there that don't even cost any money? Or some things on there that do, but you know that you can save for them and do them in the future? So I hope that creating that list was an encouragement to you. I hope that tracking your expenses and doing your net worth has been an education to you. That those are tools that you can use to help you move forward and make better choices. So that's your assignment for this week, is to keep going with what you've been doing. And if you haven't started it yet, go get those started. All right. I will probably see you again from Bali next week. In the meantime, have a great day. Thanks.